Hello everyone, I am Dr. Geetanjali Srivastav from the Department of Commerce at the Bhopal School of Social Sciences, and today we will be discussing about the plant layout. Before starting this module, I would like to show you some plant layouts through which you would be in a better position to connect with the topic. For example, in the manufacturing process of a car, the car body goes from one stage of production to the next stage. Employees at each stage work on the car and then pass it on to the next stage. Or the manufacturing process of potato chips, where it starts from washing, peeling, slicing of potatoes, and ultimately it ends with packaging and distribution for the customers. Or we can also take the example of hospitals, wherein they have different units for different care services, such as an emergency department or specialist trauma center, burn unit, surgery or urgent care units. These may then be backed up by more specialist units such as cardiology care unit, intensive care unit, neurology, cancer center, etc. So now, in the context of business organization, plant layout is basically a plan for effective utilization of facilities for the manufacturing of the products, involving a most efficient and economical arrangement of machines, material, personnel, storage space and all supporting services within the available floor space, so that continuous and steady movement of the production cycle takes place. In short, a good layout results in comforts, convenience, appearance, safety and profits, and a poor layout results in congestion, waste, frustration and inefficiency at the workplace. So now let's see why plant layout is important. It is important because of the geographical limitations of the site and to minimize the distances of transfer of materials between the plant and the storage units, which ultimately reduces the cost and the risk. This is also important for designing the most standard spaces for plant operability and maintainability. It is also important for the proper storages of hazardous and flammable material and for having the emergency services and escape routes for on-site personnel. This also creates the friendly and the standard working conditions for the operators. It controls the access of unauthorized personnels. It prevent and mitigate the escalation of adjacent events, which is also called as the domino effect. This may be the fire, explosion or toxic gases causing loss of control of operations in another locations. So basically, plant layout is very complex in nature because it involves concepts relating to such fields as engineering, architecture, economics and business management. Most of the managers now realize that after the site for plant location is selected, it is better to develop the layout and build the building around it, rather than to construct the building first and then try to fit the layout into it. Now let's see the advantages of plant layout. The first advantage is systematic plant layout streamlines the flow of materials in the plant. It minimizes the material handling. It facilitates manufacturing progress by maintaining balances in the process. It maintains the flexibility of arrangements and of operations. Effective utilization of men, equipment and space is possible. It increases the morale of employees. It minimizes the interferences, that is interruption from the machines, and it reduces hazards affecting employees. Now let's see the principles of plant layout. While designing the plant layout, there are few principles which must be kept in a view. The first principle is the principle of minimum movement. Materials and labors should be moved over minimum distances, which saves cost and time of transportation and material handling. The second principle is the space utilization. All available cubic spaces should be effectively utilized both horizontally and vertically. Principle of flexibility. Layout should be flexible enough to be adaptable to changes required by expansion or technological development. Then, principle of interdependence. Interdependent operations and processes should be located in close proximity to each other to minimize product travel. Then, the principle of overall integration. All the plant facilities and services should be fully integrated into a single operating unit to minimize the cost of production. Next is principle of safety. There should be inbuilt provision in the designing of layout to provide for comfort and safety of workers. Then, principle of smooth flow. The layout should be so designed as to reduce work bottlenecks and facilitate uninterrupted flow of work throughout the plant. Principle of economy. This principle suggests that the layout should aim at effecting economy in terms of investment in fixed assets. Then, the principle of supervision. A good layout should facilitate effective supervision over workers. Then, it is the principle of satisfaction. A good layout should boost up employees' morale by providing them with maximum work satisfaction. Now, let's talk about the various types of plant layout. The first is product layout, second is process layout, third is the combined layout, and the last is the fixed layout. Product layout is also called as the line layout. In this type of layout, all the machines are arranged in a proper sequence as required to produce a specific product. It is also called line layout because machines are arranged in a straight line or in a sequence. The raw materials are fed at one end and taken out as finished products to the other end. Special purpose machines are used which performed the required jobs quickly and reliably. Product layout is suitable in the following cases: where standardized products are manufactured, where minimum inspection is required during the sequence of operations, where material and product permit bulk or continuous handling by mechanical parts, and where the minimum of setups are required. You can see in the picture that how the machines are arranged in a proper sequence, wherein the first machine in which the laborers put the raw material and ultimately the final machine will give you the final product. The advantages of product layout is that it reduces material handling cost due to merchandised handling systems and straight flow of material. There is efficient space utilization. It gives perfect line balancing which eliminates bottlenecks. It shortens the manufacturing cycle due to uninterrupted flow of materials. It simplifies production planning and control, and it is simple and effective for inspection of work. Now, let us see the disadvantages. Lack of flexibility of operations. as layout cannot be adapted to the manufacture of any other type of product. It requires huge capital investment because of special purpose machines. There is dependence of whole activity on each part. Any breakdown of one machine in the sequence may result in stoppage of production. The next is process layout, which is also called as functional layout. In this type of layout, all machines performing similar type of operations are grouped at one location. For example, drill department, paint department are grouped according to their functionality. Services that utilize process layout include hospitals, banks, auto repairs, libraries and universities. Process layout is suitable in the following cases where non-standardized products are manufactured as the focus is on special orders. Production is not carried on a large scale, where it is frequently necessary to use the same machine or workstation for two or more difficult operations, where during the sequence of operations many inspections are required, or where the materials and products are too large or heavy to permit bulk or continuous handling by mechanical means. You can see in the picture that how the process layouts work. There are different departments and each department is working in their own group and then they pass on the material to the another group. Now the advantages of process layout. It gives greater flexibility with regard to work distribution, to machinery and personnel, adapted to frequent changes in sequence of operations. It lowers investment due to general purpose machines, which usually are less costly than special purpose machines. Because of this, there is a higher utilization of production facilities which can be adapted to a variety of products. Variety of jobs makes the work challenging and interesting. Breakdown of one machine does not result in the complete stoppage of work. Now, let us see the disadvantages. Long movement of material in process layout increases the handling cost. Clustering of similar work requires more space as the work has to pass through the different departments. It is quite difficult to trace the responsibility for the finished products since there are many departments who are interconnected and dependent on each other. The next is combination layout. In practice, plants are rarely laid out either in product or process layout form. Generally, a combination of the two layout is employed to derive the advantages of both systems of layout. For example, refrigerator manufacturing uses a combination layout. Then the last one is fixed position layout. It is also called as stationary layout. In this type of layout, men, materials and machines are brought to a product that remains in one place because of its size. Shipbuilding, aircraft manufacturing, heavy construction of dams, bridges, buildings, etc. are typical example of such layout. So this was all about the product layout in this module. I hope the concept is clear to you all. Thank you so much. Stay safe.